You know the feeling. You walk into a deli with $5 in your pocket and you're hungry. But are you really conscious of what you're eating, or are you just trying to get the most food for the least price? Every day, teens are buying unhealthy food, and whether or not they're aware of it, they're choosing it over healthy eats. Even foods that are considered healthy or organic may be false advertising, which complicates the problem further.
All over New York, people make a choice, the choice between healthy and unhealthy food. But what sparks that decision? Whether their own person's habits or their own personal knowledge. Up to an individual, that may seem simple, but when put up to a group, it becomes a topic of argument. Whether that person has their own garden, lives in a neighborhood where they lack healthy food, or just doesn't care about their health.
If I know it's unhealthy, I wouldn't eat it.
So I actually do make a pretty conscious effort whether or not I follow through with it.
Lettuce, tomatoes, salad, I guess.
Sometimes I'm too hungry to choose.
It depends what options are available. Like, if people have really limited options and they don't have a lot of choice whether they eat it or not.
I mean, personally, I would. That's because I'm Dominican, and that's how we raised to eat. Like, we just eat everything, greasy, salty. Don't matter.
Many areas are also lacking adequate food education and are victims to unhealthy eating habits. According to the CDC, 2 people die of diabetes-related causes every 5 minutes. So what's the solution to this epidemic? What can you do?
I think in New York, a lot of people don't have good access to fresh, nutritious produce, and that can lead to unhealthy eating habits. Also, a lot of times, fresh produce can be too expensive for people who are on a limited budget, so they might end up eating more processed food that is produced en masse and is more readily available but less nutritious. One of the main missions of the herb garden is to display, to show people that you can grow food crops of various kinds in New York City. And another mission is to show how you can make a beautiful garden using food plants. So when people come visit, not only will they see, oh, I didn't know that I could grow lettuce here in New York, or Swiss chard, or tomatoes, but they can also see that, if they have the space to have a garden, they can make it into a beautiful design. Another mission is to show how sometimes food plants have a life beyond the harvestable point. So a lot of times the plants that are usually harvested, I'll let go to flower, and people will see that lettuce is a plant that if it's not harvested will flower. The herb garden shows people that they could grow fresh produce in their own backyard or community garden, or even their window box if they have the space.
How have you noticed people's eating habits change over the years?
It hasn't changed over the years.
So a food desert. Quite simply is just an area or geographic location where the residents do not have access to healthy, fresh food. And it can happen very simply. A lot of people, if you have a car, you don't think about it. You just jump in the car. 3 minutes later, you're at the grocery store. But if you don't have a car, if that place isn't located off a transportation line, or maybe if you're an elder or something like that, if you don't have healthy food readily available to you, then what are you really eating?
I don't think people are fully educated on what they're eating, what their eating habits are, what they're eating in general, period. I think people buy the most sandwiches because it's easy and it's convenient.
I know that I should be eating lots of fruits and vegetables, but I'm definitely more inclined to go for a burger and fries.
The way I learned to decide is the systematic killing of other people by poisoning their food and not giving them access to food that's nutritious.
I think education makes people more aware of unhealthy habits like potato chips, candy, sugar, all the unnecessary stuff that our body does.
I do try to make healthy decisions because I know that's healthy for me.
And then you go out to these farms and you realize that like there are big apples on the tree and there are like small apples and some that's not so ripe and some that just fell to the ground but still might be good, right? So all these apples, right, they all come from the same farm, right? And they go into a box and they get put on trucks. But the biggest, juiciest, reddest, most succulent apple, it goes to this neighborhood. And that messed up one, goes to this neighborhood. So then you start to really realize, like, hold on, it's not even that the food costs more. You know, it's not that. It's just somewhere along the line, people are choosing to send the good food here and then the bad food there.
My name is Joseph Holtz. I'm the general manager of the Park Slope Food Co-op in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, a food co-op is just on its basic, simplest explanation. It's a grocery store that's owned by its members equally. People come together as a community, and by joining the co-op, you're kind of joining a community within the community. You're coming together, and if it's a kind of co-op that's structured, that welcomes members to come together and work together, there's a value in people working together. It builds community, regardless of the income of the community.
The produce section, as you can see, we ourselves do the work. There's members pouring over that, turning it over. There's like stuff goes in the shelf and it's off the shelf in hours and fresh batch you put in. So there's turnover, everything's fresh. Then you have professionals that are vetting the food sources, making sure that if possible we have food that doesn't have GMOs, that truly is organic and just doesn't say it is. If fish is wild, it doesn't just say it is, because it's real easy to just put a wild salmon label on regular salmon and it's done all the time. So that's 3 reasons right there. I could give you 10 more.
Next time you're in a deli with $5, think about what you're buying and putting into your body. Be conscious of the consequences of unhealthy eating, and maybe swap that Sprite out for a water. Educate yourself and your friends to the best of your ability, and you're already a part of the solution.
My whole stance and my whole understanding about food is you are what you eat, and if you eat life, you become life. So I try to eat as much life as possible, fruits, vegetables.
Mostly greens. I'm anemic, so I need the iron. And a lot of carbs.
And stay away from dead products like beef, pointy meat.
Nutrients, vitamins, things that aren't high in sugars and carbs and fats.
Avocados.
Stuff with like water in them, like watery fruits.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
It affects pretty much every choice. I tend to buy things that are healthy when I go shopping for food.
Light, plants, products. Anything that has a pH of as close to balanced pH as possible. Going up to 7 rather than going down to acidic foods. So alkaline-rich foods, such as black-seeded melons, blackberries, any type of berries and fruits, anything with seeds.